What's up, YouTube? Biblical Truther. I want to dovetail this video off of the video I made yesterday about Hurricane Laura. But first, I want to tell you about a dream I had last night, which was kind of out of the norm, because I usually don't dream. But when I do, it's usually one of those real vivid ones that you remember in detail. So, I don't know where I was at in the dream, but I had this guy approach me, and he's like a Hollywood movie star, spellcaster. And he's not an A-list celebrity or nothing, but he walks up to me. He's got white hair, he's dressed real nice and white and whatnot. And he introduces himself as the Archangel Michael. And he tells me that God is not pleased at the things that I'm doing and sharing, and that is not up to par with what God wants me to be doing. And before I could say anything, I woke up. And I thought that was real strange, because I've never had anybody or anything come to me in a dream and introduce themselves as an archangel. So right off the bat, I was kind of not confused, but I guess on alert, to say the least. So I prayed before I went back to sleep. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I prayed again, Lord, if that was some message from you, then allow me to continue the conversation with this archangel. So I fell asleep and didn't dream the rest of the morning. So I'm up this morning and I'm on my way to work, and I called my wife because I'm usually up and out the house before she gets up, and she told me that she was up about 2 o'clock last night feeding the babies, and that she was checking out my video I did yesterday, and I had I think 27 views or something like that. And then this morning on the way to work, while we was talking, after we got off with the phone, I checked on it, and it was less than that. It was like 25 views. And she was real insistent on it being at like 27 views last night. So we thought that was kind of weird. And the fact that I had something in my dream introducing itself as an archangel, especially with the message it was trying to tell me. And I prayed straight away about it and wasn't able to confront this thing. So I thought that was weird. It was just, I don't know, it was just crazy. But anyway, I wanted to make this video about, Hurricane Laura, and the fact that if things happen the way that very well possibly could, and this oil thing shuts down the country, they're going to declare martial law. And I didn't say it in yesterday's video, which is why I'm making this one. One of the things that they're going to do is confiscate weapons. You can go back and look when Katrina happened and they declared martial law. That's one of the things they went around New Orleans doing, was confiscating weapons, which most people never got back. You can even see a video from the news where they had forcibly removed a little old lady from her own home, took her weapons, because she had a couple weapons, and it didn't matter that she had enough food to last her probably months, and the place where she lived, she did not flood, but yet they would not allow her to stay in her home. She had to be forcibly removed, and you could possibly say quarantined, because they sent her off to a shelter. And God only knows what else they did to the rest of her stuff, food-wise. They could have confiscated that as well, because they want to make preppers look like some type of domestic terrorist. So that's just one thing that I think people need to be aware of, that They don't need Congress. They don't need the Senate. They don't need the President of the United States. They don't need any type of law-making power to forcibly confiscate weapons in a martial law situation declared nationwide. And for all you Q followers who seem to think that Trump and his little patriot crew need to do this in order to round up the pedophiles and all that garbage that y'all believe in, just know that if they do hit Port Fourchon with a hurricane and sever that pipeline, declare martial law nationwide, you will have your communist government from that point on. They will not need any type of legislative branch of the government to enforce dictatorship kind of oppression, let's say, on the American people because martial law. And I told y'all yesterday how the cops were acting during that martial law. So, and they straight up showed us during Katrina how the National Guard did it. You know what I'm saying? They went door to door, beating on people's door, confiscating weapons, and basically forcing the people to do whatever they did not want to do, that they should have had every individual right to make their own decision, which they didn't. So I just wanted to throw this in here. And man, please keep watch on this thing. If it's not this one, there's going to be another one, and I think there's another one forming already somewhere outside of the Caribbean islands, the Caribbean islands, however you want to pronounce it. And it's crazy because they put this in a lot of different movies. I think Alex Jones was involved in a movie that's on Amazon Prime called MaRtIaL. It's a real low-budget film, but spoiler alert, in the film they were training the National Guard in these makeshift towns and had crisis actors acting in these towns as, you know, homeowners, and they were going around from door to door after martial law was declared and confiscating weapons. So they've absolutely told us that they could do this during that type of situation. So there again, if this thing goes down, just be ready to defend yourself, because I don't think, you know, I don't believe in coincidence, for one, and I don't think that there's a coincidence in the fact that I posted that video yesterday and then I had that very bizarre dream last night, you know, about the archangel telling me that, you know, God's not pleased with what I'm sharing and what I'm talking to people about. So we know the devil's going to throw as many stumbling blocks in your path if you're on the right path. And I don't know very many other people who's mentioned this movie other than myself for quite a long time now. So just be aware, have it in the back of your mind, you know, this is not going to be a localized thing like Katrina was. I do believe my wife found a video yesterday of Ray Nagin from back when Katrina hit, where he had said that this is not, how do you put it, this is not a test, this is the real deal. But then there were several newscasts after his little news conference where he said that, where the news anchors either just misspoke, or it was one of those, how you pronounce it, Floridian slips or whatever, where they were saying that this is a test, this is serious. And it was on more than one channel, more than one newscast person said it. So there again, I don't believe in coincidences. And trying to kind of run side by side some of the stuff that the new mayor of New Orleans is talking about with this storm versus what Ray Nagin did back in the day. And guess it's yet to be seen, because the storm is supposed to hit tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and I'm sure this afternoon they're going to be trying to either still continue to downplay or maybe even incite a little fear. I just don't know yet. So we'll see. We'll keep watch, and we'll get back to you on this as it unfolds, I reckon. So I just wanted to put that out there about the whole martial law thing. I failed to mention it yesterday, and just again, be ready to defend yourself, because they're not playing when they come. They're definitely serious and willing to hurt or take your life, and they feel like they have every right to do so. So keep your families updated, and I'll see what I can do about keeping you guys updated about what's going on down here in the Gulf South. So love you guys, and be watchful.